What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Superman Lost, issue number 6. We are currently crossing the halfway point, with only 4 more issues to follow after this one. We are watching Superman throughout the years of his isolation away from Earth and the Justice League and the love of his life. We are seeing how he dealt and coped with it, the world that he lived on, the companions and friends that he made along the way. But we're also watching him struggle with the PTSD, struggling with trying to adapt with being back on Earth, decades away from everybody that he had known and loved. The readjustment for Superman has been very difficult, and while all of that is going on in current day, when we hop back into the past, he has this Green Lantern that is with him, but we already know that she has a dark side, an evil side. And though Superman hadn't seen this side of her, he is about to. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up in present day as the Justice League prepares to head out on mission. This is day 26 of Superman being back. He is still wearing that uniform that he wore for so many years, the survival suit. But we're picking up with him and Bruce having a conversation. They are about to head out on mission, with Bruce asking him if he has seen a bunch of heroes leaving for a space mission. Superman tells him that he knows, that he's trying. And while Bruce says there is no try, getting ready to quote Yoda, Superman says that, "Bruce, you are nothing more than a memory to me, like an old friend who moved away decades ago, though you still are an old friend. This is just difficult." Now, Bruce says the last time that you crossed that threshold, you lost everything, but you made it home. Bruce wants to know how. This is what picks us up with year 13 of his isolation away from Earth. We pick up with his Green Lantern. Superman has taught her the oath. He has been helping Hope with all of her powers. But as she says that mantra, when she says no evil, she remembers the moment that she struck down Jimmy. Not really sure what she is or what she is becoming, she goes outside to find Clark, letting him know that it is time to go, and she's not coming back. Neither is Superman. Over the years, they have placed dozens of probes in deep space. None of them have located Earth, but all confirm an obvious truth. This system's star is dying. Along with it, Clark is losing his powers. Right now, that star is swelling into a red giant. It is causing massive solar flares. It is destabilizing this entire planet. With this, his powers have been fading for years. This makes him increasingly dependent upon that survival kit. Now, this suit was designed to really augment his powers, not replace them. The solar suit was designed for transit across deep space, amplifying ambient solar radiation. This boosts his native abilities while traveling at great speeds, at great distances. But this system, it has its limitations. And so any day now, if this star decides to go, Superman will be trapped here on a dying world. But Clark has to wonder, do I just go and leave these people to die? The way Hope sees it, they're gonna die anyway, just like Krypton, victims of their own arrogance. This world divided, squabbling, conspiratorial, oppressing one another for political gain. Their problem has never been a dying star, but their immaturity as a species. But Hope does understand his reluctance. There's nothing more terrible, more awful than being alone. But she promises him that they will always have each other, that he has done all he can here and he simply can't save them. But we all know Clark, and he tells her that he is going to try. This is what picks us up at the city-state of Northland, near the Great Wall. He is trying to talk to every single leader of this planet and let them know that this star is going to collapse, that all of you are going to die, that it could take a couple thousand, 100 years, but it also could happen tomorrow. But the Ice Lord simply doesn't care, that it takes centuries for a star to go bad, which means either it is too late for them to do anything about it, or it happened long after they are all dead. that makes it somebody else's problem. And though Superman wants the world leaders to join together, the Ice Lord says that that's never gonna happen, that you could never get the votes. The idiots of Newark, they would never do this. They block everything. And so of course, this is what takes us to Newark, as they all communicate using their tapestry, the communal exchange. This is when Judge Kane, he calls out the god amongst them. Now, Clark goes on to say that I have told you over the years that I am no god. I am simply your friend, and that all world leaders, they must band together to save this planet. They have all heard this rhetoric. The sky is falling. Clark has been preaching doom for many summers, and yet nothing has happened. That their world's problems are too big for Superman, too big for 10 of him, telling him to go be a hero somewhere else. This is what takes him over to Victor. Now, all those years ago, Victor had made a contract to scavenge Newark. Superman is finally asking the question, what did they give you in return? And though Victor says, I don't know what you're talking about, that's when he turns to Hope. And she says, of this ring, I am told that there is a Green Lantern Corps, a vast network of agents spread across the universe. She would love to meet them and join their cause. Superman has taught her the Lantern's Oath, what makes one worthy of the ring. And so she looked through the files, and what she found was a stellar drive, a spaceship capable of leaving the space sector. Now, at first, Superman believes that Victor's plot is to rescue the elite while abandoning everybody else. But Victor tells Superman that you are a fool, that there is only one ship and it is a prototype. They did not develop this Ark for them. They built it for Superman, but they're not trying to help him. The Ark is a failsafe. It is a failsafe against Superman's interference and aggression, letting Clark know that you won. He has at long last united the world leaders. They unanimously agree that Superman should leave. This is what takes us to year 19. Clark's powers are nearly gone. So many times he has wondered, do his powers make him who he is? But Hope says that we are simply who we are, slaves to our fate. And while Hope is able to come and go as she pleases, Clark wonders why she returns. Hope says that that's a stupid question. They are friends. She doesn't want to be alone, and so she will never leave Clark. This is when Victor arrives, with the years aging him. He goes on to ask Superman why you're here, because you've achieved your goal, united the world leaders, if only in their disdain for Superman. But Superman is here for the people. He is not here for the world leaders. But Victor goes on to say that assistance you say they need, you are no longer capable of providing, that you cannot even fly without that survival suit. This is where he takes it off, saying that he is unwilling to abandon these people. But Victor lets him know that his launch window, it is rapidly closing, that if he doesn't launch immediately, he is going to miss his interval. He would have to wait another 20 years before he can leave again. The interval, the appearance of the temporal rift. Victor says that Jimmy discovered it nearly 10 summers ago. He posted his discovery to the tapestry, directions to his gateway home. This is where we see him get hit with a Green Lantern blast. Superman shocked and stunned, and we see Hope completely outraged, telling Superman that you can't leave me, that I will not allow it. This is when she goes in to attack Superman. She wanted to tell him. She tried to tell him about Jimmy. She didn't mean to. She was simply afraid. But if she's being honest, Superman knew. He knew that his respirator didn't fail. Superman chose to look the other way, chose hope. And so now she is asking to choose me again. Choose me now. With Superman grabbing his cape, telling her that you gotta stop this, that you're not alone, that there are millions of people, all of them that will be dead soon, like the owner of the ring that she now wears, like her home world. And once Superman fails to save this planet, she will be alone again, lost in the galaxy, with Superman flying up to the sky, limited power but still able to get off the ground. Hope following close behind, saying, before I allow you to leave, I would destroy everything on this planet. That she needs him and he needs her. That Clark has tried and tried again, but these people are beyond help. That together they can search the cosmos for a new home. perhaps even find Earth. Superman grabbing his cape and wrapping it around his fist. He lets her know that she is right about Jimmy. He should have suspected, but he was so self-absorbed, so arrogant, teaching her the Green Lantern's oath as if it meant something to her. She may look like a Green Lantern. She may have a Lantern's power ring. He had accepted that the convention that the ring chooses its owner and that it would select a person of character, with Superman giving her construct a heavy punch. As he suspected, this ring is of an older generation, still limited to its yellow impurity, and so that S symbol on his cape, which is yellow, it is wrapped around his fist and it is giving him a weapon to use to fight against Hope. But Superman does tell her that he has been wrong, caught up in his own problems, substituting this world's problems for his own, as if saving them will somehow fix him. Both of them have been wounded, both in mourning, but this is not about them. It is about the millions' lives at stake. Ironically, Hope is right. He does have to go. He has no choice. This world cannot be saved by Superman. That they have to locate a suitable planet thousands of light years away, transport millions, build infrastructure, an impossible task. The only way to save these people is to leave and bring back help. As the two of them continue their fight, Superman is able to take the ring off of her finger, the two of them landing in snow and her knocked unconscious. He now understands that this is an outdated ring disconnected from Oa, referencing Green Lantern Corps' Central HQ, still ineffective against the color yellow. He knows that he can't take it with him, not willing to risk it. But if he does succeed, others will come. He leaves the ring behind, leaves it right next to Hope, and says that he is counting on her to do the right thing. With Clark hopping into his ship, he takes off. Not really sure if he's even going to be able to survive this. The vehicle will not survive the stress of the anomaly's event horizon. His powers are nearly gone. Even with fixing the suit, the survival kit that he is wearing, there's still the likelihood that he would be ripped apart. But if he survives, the Green Lantern Corps will evacuate everybody. We see the ship take off, with the pressure exceeding its design limits. We see the fiery explosion, Superman being shot out of the ship as it probes the gravity of the event horizon. The suit tells Superman to abort, that in his weakened state he cannot survive this, telling him that at his diminished power level, this would crush him. But he tells the suit no, that this is the only way to save everybody. As he pushes himself beyond the limits that he has known, his nose begins to bleed, and then a hand grabs hold of his cape. That hand being an old version of himself. Old man Superman telling him no, to go back before you kill everybody. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was definitely a much better issue than what we had seen. Now at first we thought maybe there was some kind of romantic relationship going on between Superman and going on between Hope. And though I don't believe Clark ever actually cheated on Lois, I do think the thought had crossed his mind. At the end of the day, he is technically just a man. Not necessarily human, but he has all of our emotions, all of our thoughts. He is human in a sense, which means he is not folly to bad things, that he could make mistakes. But this seems more like they have a friendship than a relationship, that she is codependent on Superman not because she loves him, but because she is so afraid of being alone that the thought of Superman leaving terrifies her, so much so that she is willing to kill an entire planet to ensure that Superman does not leave. It's also quite interesting that we have seen we've seen 2 of the old generation rings. Now we all know that the Green Lantern rings, they were essentially restarted by John Stewart, with him ascending, touching the source. He was able to reignite the Green Lantern Corps, but no longer needing the central battery. And for a long time, the entire Green Lantern Corps had been knocked out. So it is interesting that these older generation rings still somehow seem to be operational. And then there's Hal Jordan's ring, the one that he is currently wearing in his own series. That ring is standing aside from all the other rings, powered by his own willpower. I think it is cool that there are different versions of the Green Lantern ring. I only worry that that might become too convoluted, that it could take away from what the Green Lantern Corps is supposed to represent. But the way that this comic ends definitely leaves me excited for whatever comes next. Running into an old man Superman, there's gotta be some kind of temporal issue that is currently going on, causing time distortion. The event horizon has to be why there is an old man Superman here. Obviously, whatever Clark is trying, it does not work, because there is an older version of himself trying to stop him. What stories will the old Clark have for us? What happened to him after the event horizon? And with the ship exploding, with hope left behind, how does Superman return home? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Superman Lost, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this story. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.